Don't miss out on the adventure of a lifetime in Colombia. With this 9-day itinerary, you'll be able to plan a trip to experience the vibrant culture and beautiful scenery of Cartagena, Medellin, and Bogota. Planning an itinerary and figuring out which neighborhoods to stay in is often the hardest part of travel. So I've made it easy for you. If you're looking to see the most of Colombia in a limited time frame, keep watching. The first step to planning any itinerary, and especially one in Colombia spanning multiple cities, is to decide how many days you want to spend in each city. I usually do this by researching some of the things I want to do in each place, deciding what I want to see the most, and going from there. The way I built this 9-day itinerary for Colombia breaks down this way: 4 nights in Cartagena, 3 nights in Medellin, and 2 nights in Bogota. You could also make this itinerary into 8 days, which is actually what Justin and I did. We had just 1 night in Bogota, but let me tell you, that felt way too rushed. I wish we had 1 more night there. Unfortunately, we did it this way because I was working a full-time job at the time and I had really limited PTO. So if you work full-time and have limited vacation time like I did, here's a little hack. Attach your trip to a holiday weekend, so you only need to take 4 days instead of 5 days of PTO. As a former 9-to-5er, I totally get how precious every single day of PTO is. Another important note about traveling between cities in Colombia: you're going to have to fly in between the cities. The way the country is geographically makes it a bit unrealistic to drive or take a bus between the cities. I mean, you could, but because of timing constraints, I really suggest that you fly. But I digress. Let's dive in and break down each day of your trip to Colombia. Start by booking a flight into Cartagena's Rafael Núñez International Airport, which is just 20 minutes from the walled city, where most tourists visit when they come to Cartagena. Next, book your accommodation. Cartagena tends to be a bit on the pricier side than other cities in Colombia, so keep that in mind. And now for the top neighborhoods to stay in. Here's your answer: the walled city and Gethsemane. The walled city is a little bit more expensive and Gethsemane is more for backpackers. Both neighborhoods are relatively safe and oriented towards tourists, so you really can't go wrong with either. A third option could be Boca Grande, which is right on the peninsula, so you get a lot of ocean views. You could choose to stay here if you want more of a resort-like experience. But really, it comes down to your preference and the type of experience you want. For the walled city, I recommend either the Sofitel Legend Santa Clara or the Anda Boutique Hotel. Both of these are centrally located in the walled city. The Sofitel has a beautiful interior courtyard and actually used to be a 17th century convent. The Ananda has a stunning rooftop pool, and the whole place is just a vibe. Now, if you're a backpacker or a solo traveler, Gethsemane might be more your vibe. I recommend staying at the Selena there because it's conveniently located in a spot that's actually not too far from the walled city, just walking distance. And if you don't know Selena's already, they're a widely popular hostel chain across the world offering private or shared rooms. So this is also a great option if you're on a budget. Now, I'm not going to cover things to do in this video for Cartagena, but I do have a ton of information on things to do in my other video, so be sure to check it out. All right, on to our next stop on our 9-day itinerary. It's Medellin, or also pronounced Medellin. I seem to pronounce it both ways. You'll need to book a flight from the Cartagena International Airport to the one in Medellin. The major airlines that you can take are Avianca, Viva Air, and LATAM. A flight usually costs between $70 to $160 US, but you can probably get a little bit cheaper if you book ahead. Now, when you land, you'll need to grab a taxi or a private transfer. I actually recommend booking a private transfer in advance so you know exactly who's picking you up and at what time. I kind of wish that I had booked a private transfer, to be honest. We ended up taking a taxi. This cost about 85,000 Colombian pesos, which translates to about 20 US dollars. Okay, now let's talk about the best neighborhoods to stay in when you're in Medellin. I recommend El Poblado, Laureles, El Centro, and Patio Bonito, and here's why. First up, El Poblado. El Poblado is one of the most popular neighborhoods for tourists in Medellin. It has super cute boutique hotels, hostels, cool restaurants, parks, plazas, and concept stores, and also it's really safe. This is also the neighborhood Justin and I decided to stay in. We stayed at the Nomada Hotel Origen, which was so cute. It was this cute boutique hotel, which was super comfortable. I loved the bed there. The interior design of each room was actually like really cool. And it was also right on top of some great nightlife. I'm putting the link to our hotel in the description below. So if you're ready to book, head down to that link. For more of a local residential vibe, try Laureles. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. You're going to love this neighborhood's tree-lined streets and also really tranquil feel. If you like a quieter, calmer atmosphere when you travel, then this neighborhood is a really good choice for you. On the other hand, if you really want to be at the center of all the action, stay in El Centro, appropriately named, which is where the majority of the city's tourist attractions are located. This is Medellin's downtown, filled with so much history. There's Plaza Botero, the Metropolitan Cathedral, and shopping at Junin Street. It's all right here. However, El Centro is a little bit dodgy at night, so just be aware of that if you're planning on staying here. Or you could also go with Patio Bonito, which is a smaller neighborhood within El Poblado. This area is a little quieter, but it still has super cute bars and coffee shops. If you're a digital nomad, I'd recommend this area because it has quite a few good co-working spots. And for more on the best things to do while you're visiting Medellin, check out my other video, which gives you an inside look to Comuna 13 and also a super epic biking tour that we did. All right, now for our third city in Colombia of your 9-day itinerary. Hopefully you had a great time in Medellin. Now it's Bogota. Bogota is the capital of Colombia, and let me tell you, there's so much to do here. This city is a different vibe from the other two cities. Bogota has a high altitude, so it's a little chillier. And there's also so much history here. You're gonna need to, again, to book a flight from Medellin's airport to Bogota's airport, which is the El Dorado. Once you land at the airport, again, be careful to take a registered taxi or book a private transfer before you head out on your trip. Our taxi from the airport to the La Candelaria neighborhood cost about 25,000 Colombian pesos, which converts to about $5. However, if I were to do it all over again, I would really book a private transfer in advance. It just makes things so much easier. And actually, there's sadly a lot of scams at the airport. I started talking to a woman and she wanted us to take an Uber and she said, "Come with me." And I said, "Wait, I don't want to go with you anywhere. I have plenty of taxis right here." So don't be fooled, it's really easy. With 2 days in Bogota, there's just enough time to explore the historic district, which is La Candelaria, visit the Paleque Mao market, take a guided tour through the neighborhoods of Chapinero and learn about the street art there, and visit the Salt Cathedral of Zipaquirá, which is just outside the city. Now, let's go over the neighborhoods to stay in Bogota. I recommend La Candelaria, Chapinero, Chico, and Usaquén. We stayed in La Candelaria because we only had 1 day there. It worked out really great to stay in this neighborhood. I was actually shocked at how much we were able to fit into just 1 morning. From our hotel, we were able to walk to literally everything. We stayed at this super charming bed and breakfast called La Candelaria House. I'll leave the link to it in the description below. And I'm honestly still thinking about how comfortable the heated bed was at this hotel. And Bogota gets a little chilly, so the heated bed was really close. The one thing about staying in La Candelaria is that it's not always the safest, especially at night. So if you're looking for something a little bit more residential, stay in Chapinero. Chapinero is cool and trendy and also LGBTQ friendly. On the other hand, you could also stay in Chico, which is another excellent option, especially if you're a foodie like me. Chico has some of the best restaurants and bars in the entire city. This area is also very safe. Lastly, Usaquén is located a little more north in the city and offers an upscale vibe. It's very small and very quiet here, and there actually aren't a ton of hotels in this area, which actually can be pretty nice. This area is a little farther away from the main sites, but if you want something more off the beaten path, then this is a great option for you. All right, friends, that's it for today. I hope this video helped give you a solid itinerary for your trip to Colombia. You can get more tips on the best things to do in Cartagena and Medellin in my other Colombia videos, which are linked in the description below. And if you want tips on what to pack for your trip to Colombia, check out my video on that, also linked in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an epic trip to Colombia. It is such a beautiful country. You are going to love it. Please leave a comment if you have any questions, and be sure to subscribe for more videos coming soon.